All right, thanks for tuning in to this Bonanza educational video. My name is Payam. Just want to run you through a couple of our products and answer hopefully a lot of questions that you guys may have. So first off, I'm going to hop into our cartridges and just kind of talk about our hardware. When we started back in 2019, we truly want to invest in our hardware so we could have a very competitive product in an already saturated market. So it's going to start with the full gram. Obviously the full and half gram are going to be very similar, only difference is the size. So with that, a couple things that we specifically designed, and it may be hard to tell here, if you want to zoom in, but we specifically designed, so if you see those small intake holes, every cartridge has those. We actually added another one and made our intake holes specifically designed bigger. The reason why we did that is so you could always have a consistent milky rip every time. It's very frustrating when you puff on a cartridge and you just can't get that. If you feel yourself tugging or whatever, you should never have that issue with a Bonanza product. It should be a nice clean hit for the customers. Along with that, kind of goes into, we always recommend a low temp starting out. I'm sure that you are familiar with that. That's kind of the standard for most batteries, but we always recommend start low. You really don't have to crank this thing up and burn the terpenes and to get a consistent milky rip. So always tell your consumer, start low. And if it's just not getting quite the pull you want, then you can adjust up. But always tell your customers to start low. Again, on the hardware, I'm sure many are familiar now, but the reason why we put this screw on the bottom, we call it a leak-proof technology, but it really does, it yields us less than a 1% return rate on all of our products. So with that, we just simply twist the screw off. We have the rubber stopper there, and once again, that's to help prevent leaks. The last thing you want, especially as a Budtender there, is to show your customer the product, or they go into their car, they open up the product, and now the oil is leaking out the bottom. So that truly is just there to help prevent leaks. Now, along with that, all of our products are going to be refillable. We really don't recommend many consumers refilling it, but you do have the option to, and the reason why is, unless they're educated on how to properly fill the cartridge, so heating up the oil at the right temperature, it ends up just being a mess. So if you do have a consumer and you sell syringes and they feel comfortable refilling it, all of our products do have the ability to do that, and it's super easy to use. Literally just twist off that mouthpiece and screw it right back on. Now, in regards more into the hardware, we do not use any heavy metals, no plastics. It's all going to be stainless steel, glass, and ceramic. So we don't use any, like, you kind of see those cheap plastic mouthpieces. Obviously, we have the wood tip. The reason for that is just to be unique. There really is no effect when it comes to taste. It's just going to be for look and aesthetics. I know we've had people ask us that in the past, if it does anything to the taste or if there's a reason we do it. Once again, just entering a saturated market in 2019, we found that every cartridge looked the same. So how can we separate ourselves? Obviously having a good looking cartridge and investing truly in our hardware. Next product is going to be our all-in-one vape pen. You guys may have seen this in the market. We did take off disposable on all of our packaging. Now call it an all-in-one pen, and really the reason behind it is just because it is refillable and rechargeable. So it truly is an all-in-one vape pen, opposed to a disposable, just a one-time use, and you can chuck it. Back to the cartridge. Yes, you have the ability to refill it, and I think that is a big selling point. Just once again, not a lot of consumers are educated and do that properly. But if you do have an educated customer, then they have the ability to fill it, they can continue to use this. We recommend about 3 to 5 charges. I think anything over 5 is going to be a little bit excessive. However, they obviously can use that multiple times. And once again, with it being refillable, so I'll kind of show you, it works with any micro USB. If you check the bottom there, the product doesn't come with a micro USB, just because what we found in our research is that most consumers have some sort of micro USB just laying around their household for another product that is compatible with that. But it does allow the consumer to recharge it. We've all been there. It's super frustrating if you buy a disposable and it dies halfway through and you still have that oil in there. So that should never happen with a Bonanza product. Your consumer will have the ability to go ahead and recharge it. So that way they're obviously getting their full money's worth. So just to zoom in again, sorry, Alyssa. So we got the rechargeable aspect, super easy to refill as well. Just like all of our products, go ahead and screw that cap off. You would stick the syringe in there. So it truly is an all-in-one vape pen. Right now we do have our 300s only available on the market. Depending when you see this video, we do plan to launch our 500 all-in-one vape pen as well. So as you can see, it looks very similar. It literally is our half-gram cartridge, just within a battery. This battery is going to be a little bit more powerful that we found, so you can get a stronger hit. So if your consumers are looking for a little bit more THC or more product, more milligrams, that's going to be their best option. Once again, super easy to refill as well. All right. Once again, tagging on kind of our hardware with both of our products, we do have significantly less than a 1% return rate. I'd like to say it's probably less than 0.01% on all of our products. Once again, investing in our hardware. So with that, if you ever do get a return, and a lot of this is going to come down to your own company's policy, just know that Bonanza always credits you on the back end. So for example, if a consumer comes in, their cartridge isn't working right off the get-go. Usually if there's ever an issue with the Bonanza product, that's gonna be it. It's not that it stops working halfway through, it's that it really just was a dud. We order hundreds of thousands of these at a time. So with any manufacturer, you are gonna have a couple issues. But with that, if they never have a product that's working, typically what happens is it's right from the get-go. Keep an eye, if you see the same consumer obviously coming in and wanting returns, keep reports of that. But typically we like to think that most of the customers are gonna be fair and honest. So if they do come in with the return, always replace it for them. We want your customer leaving happy and being confident within our product. And we want you as Budtenders and the staff to know that we're always gonna support you on the back end. So what that kind of looks like, if you do end up replacing a Bonanza product for the consumer, go ahead and let your manager, purchasing manager know, and on your following order, we will go ahead and credit those units. Like I said, I know some shops have a no return policy, so this is gonna come down to your shop's policy and what exactly you guys go by, but just know that we have your backing and we'll always credit you on the back end. Now I just wanna kind of talk about our strains here. So starting out, we do have our 5 sativa strains. We do try to mix them up probably every 6 to 8 months. So you will see some consistency. We aren't just gonna have a strain available and then next week change it up on you. Especially if your consumer likes that strain, we want them to be able to come back and get it. So with that, we have our Maui Wowie, our Strawberry Cough, our Super Lemon Haze, our Sour Diesel, and our Fruit Punch Haze. Fan favorite's gonna be Maui Wowie. That's been our top seller for years. That's probably a strain that you'll never see go away. Kind of some of your fruitier flavors are gonna be your Maui Wowie and your Strawberry Cough. Now, if the consumer is looking for a little bit more of that diesel or earthier, I would go with the Super Lemon Haze or Sour Diesel are gonna be great options for them. They don't want kind of that stronger, fruitier flavor. Now, going into our indicas here, again, we already have our 5 strains available. So Blueberry Kush, Northern Lights, Granddaddy Purp, Skywalker OG, and Watermelon Kush. My personal favorite is gonna be the Watermelon Kush. However, once again, kind of on the fruitier side of these two, it's just gonna be your Blueberry Kush and your Watermelon Kush. Your Northern Lights and your Skywalker OG are really gonna be a lot earthier. So if your consumer is looking for a little bit more of a cannabis tasting terpene and a cannabis tasting cart, I would highly recommend the Northern Lights or the Skywalker OG. Now moving into our hybrid, we have talked about adding a 5th hybrid. However, right now we are just gonna be at those 4. So our Pineapple Express, Blue Dream, White Widow, and Wedding Cake. Once again, fan favorite is gonna be your Pineapple Express. On the fruitier side, it is gonna be your Pineapple Express and your Wedding Cake. So once again, if your consumer is looking a little bit more of that cannabis tasting, a little bit earthier taste, highly recommend go with the Blue Dream and the White Widow. But that's gonna be it for our 14 strains available. All right, depending on when you're watching this video, we may or may not have these obviously launched yet because it's been very recent. So I wanna talk about our stick batteries first, 2 accessories that we have. All Bonanza cartridges are gonna be compatible with any 510 thread battery. Obviously we recommend smoking on a Bonanza battery, but they are compatible with any 510 thread. So this is gonna be what the packaging looks like. Our standard stick battery comes with a charger, and it is gonna be adjustable voltage, which is awesome. Like you heard me prior in the video, always recommend a lower temp. However, if your consumer does want to really burn that cartridge down, you do have the ability to adjust the voltage. However, we recommend starting low, go from there. So that is gonna be it for our stick battery. And then moving on to our box battery. This one's super cool and unique. I've yet to see anything like it on the market. And kind of some frequently asked questions we've had about this just by launching on our Instagram so far is it compatible with a full or a half gram? And yes, it is. It works with both. So super simple. Pops kind of open, similar to a Zippo lighter, but it's gonna work for both the half gram and the full gram. So there's 2 side accessories that come with the battery. The battery is gonna have a ton of instructions in there, and it's gonna be on the packaging as well in case your consumer has any questions. It's a very simple process. But with that, obviously the bigger one is gonna be used for your half gram cartridge. You're gonna screw that onto the bottom. Just do it. And it does connect magnetically, which is awesome from there. And it's super nice. You can close it and leave your cartridge in there, which is great. And then very similar for the full gram, you're gonna do the exact same thing. However, just gonna kind of use the smaller adapter here, but that is a question everyone's asked: is the full and the half gram work? And the answer is yes. But it sits in there really nice, and honestly, opposed to the stick battery where it's longer in your pocket, this one just kind of fits really nice in there. Let's use my fat fingers. So from there, obviously you can close it and both are gonna fit. If you guys have any other questions about our process, our products, any new products that we have coming out, any verbiage that you should be using, please don't hesitate to contact your rep and whoever kind of your face of Bonanza is, and we'll always get back to you in a timely manner. Appreciate all the business, and thanks for tuning in.